The front truck support wall was loose, which caused repeated friction with the ground during driving and was damaged. In Pakistan, it cost 10,000 rupees to replace it with a new one, so they cut and processed a section of steel pipe. After a simple splicing by the master, the damaged support wall can be repaired and continue to be used. Let's see how they save money. In order to deliver the goods to the destination as soon as possible, the owner drove the semi-trailer directly to the repair department in Peshawar and asked the master to repair his support wall. The long-term friction between the support wall and the ground. Only the outer extension has been worn flat, and the bushing of the inner part has been completely scrapped. This is not difficult for the experienced 8th level front-end master. Master plans to use copper steel pipes for splicing. This will not only restore the missing outer extension part, but also the strength of the whole body will not decrease too much. Considering that the splicing surface needs to be polished later, the bushing must be separated with the help of a hydraulic press to better observe the width of the wear and tear. Because the friction deformation causes the inner seam to increase, master also needs to use downforce to correct the fabric wall. To ensure that the outer surface of the bushing fits perfectly, the master repeatedly compares it with the bushing. The inclined surface formed by friction with the ground is cut into a flat surface with a saw blade cutting machine. There will be errors in amplitude when splicing. Because the saw blade of the cutting machine has certain limitations, the residual scraps need to be removed with the help of an angle grinder. To make the training surface flat and smooth, the side also needs to be grinded out for welding to improve the strength of the splicing of the weaving arm and the steel pipe. After the weaving arm is grinded to meet the splicing requirements, the steel pipe can be cut into patches of the same width. The master also needs to stack the two with the help of a bushing. The position error causes the marking line to shift, which is a detail that needs to be paid attention to during the maintenance process. Obviously, the inner diameter of the steel pipe is inconsistent. The master also needs to use a caliper to compare and measure. The error of the two data can determine the processing amount of the steel pipe on the lathe. Then use the hole cutter to cut the original groove of the steel pipe according to the inner diameter just measured. After all, the inner wall is in direct contact with the bushing. Any error in thinking will cause the bushing to loosen again. After the inner wall of the steel pipe is processed to the standard, the master's hand does not shake at all. The patch is also cut quickly. If the patch is to be spliced to the correct angle, direct welding will definitely not meet the use requirements. In order to better fit the surface of the bushing, the master needs to install the bushing back to its original position so that the patch can have a standard amplitude reference. After confirming that it is correct, the patch is temporarily spot welded and fixed. In this way, the master can continue or break the opening by welding. A large welding area can prevent it from happening again. The strength of the outer fixation alone is obviously not enough. Therefore, the master needs to separate the fixed bushing again so that the inner gap can be clearly observed. The outer welding can make the two become one. The raised weld scar will not only affect the inner diameter, but also make the fabric wall have no aesthetics. The outer weld scar needs to be polished and smoothed by the angle die machine to restore the original appearance of the fabric wall as much as possible. The inner weld scar still maintains the round amplitude. Only with the help of the grinding head of the straight die machine can we carry out more detailed grinding to ensure that the inner circle amplitude will not change. After the hanbo on the inner wall could not see any traces, in order to check the interior of the entire supporting wall splicing, Fu also directly installed a second-hand bushing from the hydraulic press. So the wall of this worn and scrapped truck was repaired with a simple welding of steel pipes. What do you think of this technology?